Shall I go west or go east? Let's take a look at our map. Okay, that's not really much help right now. Let's go east. The narrow path continues to cut its way through the tangled forest. Strange animal cries and noises echo through the trees. At last, the path widens to approximately a meter across. Soon you arrive at a moss-covered wooden signpost, on top of which sits a large crow. The arms of the signpost read north and east. Just as you are deciding which way to continue, you hear the words, Good afternoon! You look up in the direction of the voice and see the crow looking down at you inquisitively. Good afternoon, you reply slowly, feeling a little foolish. The crow speaks again, asking which way you are heading. You reply that you are looking for two goblins, small, sinewy creatures with brown, scaly skin. 1 gold piece will buy my advice, states the crow confidently. Will you pay the crow for its advice, ignore the crow and turn north, or ignore the crow and carry on eastwards? We will pay the crow for its advice. I mean, that's why we have the money, right? You put the gold piece on top of the signpost as requested by the crow, after which it says, Go north. You ask the crow why it needs gold pieces, and it replies that it needs 30 gold pieces to pay Yaztromo, to turn it back into a human again. You bid the crow farewell. I suppose that's what happens when you anger Yaztromo. You turn it into a crow. Good thing we didn't do that. I mean, so will we ignore the crow's advice and just go east, or will we listen to the crow and go north? I mean, the way I see it, if you pay for some advice, you might as well take it, so we'll be going north. Walking along the path, you hear footsteps and arguing voices ahead of you. If you wish to meet their owners, turn to 317. If you would rather hide in the bushes to let them walk by, turn to 392. Let's hide. I mean, we've got nothing to fear. We've got plant control. As you crouch in the bushes off the path, the voices get louder. 2 pairs of spindly legs and tattered cloths shuffle past you quickly, kicking up dirt and dust. The voices soon fade away into the distance. You step out onto the path again and press on northwards. To the left of the path, you notice a large hole in the ground with the diameter of some 3 meters. Walking over to the edge of the hole, you see it sloping off into the depths of the earth. If you wish to walk down the hole, turn to 125. If you prefer to continue walking northwards up the path, turn to 337. Caves. Caves are dangerous. We are not going in there. I mean, what's the odds that there's a goblin in there? Not too high. Probably more likely a snake. We'll go northwards. We'll keep going. At last, the trees begin to thin out, and shafts of sunlight beam down through the gaps on either side of the path. As the path widens, you see a large cave entrance set a few yards back on the right. If you want to examine the cave, turn to 230. If you want to continue northwards up the path, turn to 358. Let's examine it. That seems like a more likely place for a goblin to live. Slowly, you peer into the cave and see the huge shape of an ogre walking slowly over to a wicker cage with a bowl of water in his great hand. He is dressed in animal furs and carries a stone club in his belt. There appears to be a small creature jumping around inside the cage. You may pick up a rock and throw it at the ogre. Rush in and attack the ogre with your sword, or leave the cave and continue up the path. Is this where our potion of missile dexterity comes in handy? Eh? We are throwing a rock at this ogre. If you possess a glove of missile Oh, it's a glove, not a potion. Never mind. If you possess a glove of missile dexterity, turn to 55. If you do not, turn to 10. 55. Let's go. You reach into your backpack and pull out the purple silk glove. It fits snugly on your hand. You then bend down and pick up a good-sized rock and take aim. You throw the rock with all your might at the ogre, and it flies like an arrow to hit him on the side of the head, knocking him unconscious. The creature in the cage jumps around even more than before. Do you take a closer look at the creature in the cage, search through the contents of the cave, or leave the cave immediately and continue northwards? I mean, they've been talking about the creature quite a bit, so let's take a look at the creature. Inside the cage, a small, sign-like creature with brown, scaly skin is jumping up and down. He is a goblin! Round his neck hangs a black, shiny rod on a leather cord. If you want to unlock the cage door, turn to 117. If you want to leave the cave and continue northwards, turn to 358. No! That's part of the hammer. We need that. Let's unlock the cage. You unlock the door and step back, drawing your sword in case the goblin tries to attack you. He picks up a wooden stool and, waving it in the air, kicks the door open and charges at you screaming. You must fight. Bring it on. I'm fresh. Let's go. You must fight. Fight on. So we have a skill of 10 against his skill of 5. So we got the hit there because we got the better roll, 19 to his 9, and I think we always do 2 damage. So we will fight on. Boom! Easy. You are triumphant. We didn't even take any damage. Boom. We won. You bend down over the lifeless body of the mad goblin and examine the rod around its neck. The rod is made of ebony, and there is a screw thread at one end. You are excited to see the letter G neatly inscribed at the other end of what must be the handle of the dwarfish warhammer. You put your find in your backpack and gain 1 luck point. Oh yeah, so lucky. So where'd we find that? Just right here. Wow. What luck. Awesome. If you wish to search through the contents of the cave, turn to 263. If you want to leave the cave and continue northwards, turn to 358. Now I'm worried, if I search the contents of the cave, will the ogre wake up since I had to fight the goblin already? Oh, I wish I remembered what page number it was saying last time, that way I knew if it was a different page number. Oh, well, I mean, I'm not too concerned if the ogre wakes up anyways. As we've proven there, we are great at fighting. Let's search the cave. There is not much of interest to be found in the cave. A straw bed, stone jars, a table, and a chair are all that is immediately visible. But on a stone shelf above the bed, a small silver box catches your eye. If you want to open the silver box, turn to 126. If you'd rather leave the cave and go north up the path without the silver box, turn to 358. Let's open it, bro. Let's do it. You gently pry the lid off the box, but as you do so, a yellow gas escapes and envelops your face. Oh, nose filters, of course. Why'd I open that? Got too greedy. The gas is toxic and your eyes start to water. You cough and hold your breath while running around the cave trying to escape from the gas cloud which envelops you. Your lungs feel as though they are bursting and you are forced to inhale. Your skills reduced by 2 and your stamina by the amount of 1 die roll. One. Oh, okay, good. But, oh, that skill. That's not good. We had pretty good skill before, but now we have just about average skill. Even maybe a little below average. Darn. You are relieved to see the gas cloud fade away. You put the silver box in your backpack and leave the cave immediately to continue your quest northwards. So do I have a silver box now? Hey, maybe it'll come in handy later. You know? Walking along the path, you do not notice a rope noose hidden beneath some fallen leaves ahead of you. Your foot catches in the noose, and suddenly you are hauled into the air by the rope, which is tied to a sprung tree. In a second, you are hanging upside down, suspended by your trapped foot. Test your luck. We weren't lucky. Your sword slips from its scabbard and... oh. Drops to the ground, leaving you dangling helplessly. We're unlucky. Oh, we got the dingle dangle. Awesome, we got caught. Ogres Tree trap. You curse as you wonder who set this infernal trap. After 10 minutes, you hear footsteps and begin to panic, making frantic swaying movements in the air, trying to free your foot from the noose. Then a small boy dressed in green leather shorts and a green shirt appears. He is chewing on what looks like a chicken bone. He walks underneath you, looks up, and smiles, saying, "Ha ha! Somebody's caught in the Ogres Tree trap." You ask him politely to pass you your sword. That will cost you 5 gold pieces. Or perhaps you have the nice magical item for me, he says, eyes widening. You're in no position to argue and must give the boy the gold or one of your magical items if you have any. So, let me see, can I be a jerk? Could I give him the glove of missile dexterity? Because, I mean, I already used it, and it said that the magic only works once. So I'll never have to use that again. So we'll give him the glove of missile dexterity. Once you have given the boy either the gold or the items, the small boy passes you your sword and runs down the path. You cut the rope holding your foot and fall heavily to the ground. You get to your feet and brush the dirt from your clothes. To continue northwards, turn to 274. You notice a knotted vine hanging down to the ground from a tree on your left. You look up and see a roughly made treehouse amid the branches. If you want to climb up the vine to the treehouse, turn to 195. If you wish to continue walking north, turn to 109. We'll keep heading north. It seems to be working so far. Soon the path leads out of the trees onto a large plain with tall grasses. Beyond it you see rising ground and further off some low hills. The path splits and goes in 3 directions. If you want to go west, turn to 124. If you want to go east, turn to 72. If you want to continue north, turn to 309. Map, okay. So here's where we are. So we could go even further east. We could go west. We could go north. Let's go east some more. The path ends at a junction. The way south leads back to the forest, so you decide to head north. Okay. As you walk along the path through the waist-high grasses, you watch the grass rippling in the wind. Soon you get the uncomfortable feeling that the grass has a will of its own. It is moving independently of the wind. Suddenly, a clump of grass stretches out across the path and wraps itself around your leg. Other clumps of grass try to grab your arms and legs. You realize that you are surrounded by tangleweed. If you have a potion of plant control, turn to 64. Oh yeah, potion of plant control for the win. Before the tangleweed can drag you to the ground, you manage to grab the bottle containing the potion of plant control. from your backpack and gulp down its contents. As if touched by flame, the tangleweed releases your limbs and retreats from the path. You decide to run quickly along the path while the effects of the potion still last. Turn to 142. As the path proceeds northwards, the grass becomes shorter and the ground starts to rise gently. Ahead you can hear the sound of flowing water. You soon reach the bank of a gently flowing river. There's no bridge, but you can see that the path continues north on the other side of the river. Standing proudly in front of you is a magnificent white beast, half man, half horse. A bow and quiver of arrows are slung behind his back. He is a centaur. Will you try to start a conversation with him? Walk around him and wade into the river. Draw your sword and attack him. Let's take a look at that river. That's a pretty big river. And I don't really... I mean, maybe the angle's the best for size comparison, but that's a big river. I don't think I would wade across that. And I don't think I want to attack the centaur for no reason, so we'll strike up a conversation with him. You bid the centaur good day, to which he replies in a similar manner. It is pleasing to meet someone who is not attacking you on sight. You ask the centaur if he has any information which might lead you to your goal, but he does not know anything. He says that he does not wander much these days as he is getting old. He just wants to own a little gold for his old age. He offers to carry you across the river for 3 gold pieces. We have 7. I can afford to give him 3. I'll accept his offer. Confused typophile. Okay. You climb onto the centaur's back, and he turns and walks into the river. The water is a dark green color, and you wonder what kind of creatures might be lurking in its depths. Soon you reach the other side, and you pay the centaur his 3 gold pieces. He thanks you and waves goodbye, wishing you good luck. You are now at the foot of some hills, and it is beginning to get dark. You see the path winding its way north up into the hills. You decide to camp under a great old oak tree to the right of the path and settle down to sleep with your sword by your side. Turn to 298. You have been asleep for about an hour when a terrifying howl wakes you up with a start. It seems to be coming from the west, some distance away. You look up and see a full moon in the night sky. While looking up, you suddenly notice a large black shape moving in the branches above you. You forget about the howling and leap to your feet, grabbing your sword at the same time as the giant spider drops to the ground beside you. Its massive rounded body moves slowly towards you on black spiny legs. Not wishing to leave all your possessions, you are forced to fight.